Your chickens look like pin cushions. Your yard looks like somebody ripped open a pillow and did a cartwheel. Don't worry, don't panic. Your chickens are just molting. Let's talk about how to get them through it. Hello friends, welcome to Chickenlandia. My name is Dahlia. I'm a backyard chicken educator, also known as the president of Chickenlandia. Raising chickens has been the best way for me to find peace and joy in my life, and I want to help you find that too. Oh my goodness, Gizmo, you are looking rough. You look like hot garbage. Look at that. Poor baby. You know, it might be uncomfortable for me to be holding you right now, although you don't seem like it is. I'm gonna put you down. Every year around this time, I get lots of panicked messages from viewers and listeners of my podcast, and they'll say, help, my chickens are bullying each other, or my chicken's pulling out their own feathers, or my chickens have parasites, they've got mites and they're losing all their feathers. And I definitely want you to rule out these things, especially if you're really concerned that something like this might be going on with your flock. But more than likely, if you're seeing some feather loss around this time and through the fall, it has to do with your chickens molting, which is a totally natural process that all chickens go through, and it's really nothing to worry about. It is usually late summer or early fall when chickens will start their annual molt. This is for adult chickens. They will start their annual molt usually during this time. Sometimes it's a little sooner, sometimes it's a little later. Every once in a while it'll be in the dead of winter, and that's usually a frizzle. When a chicken molts, they are dropping their old scraggly feathers that they've been using all year, and they're growing brand new feathers, nice strong feathers, so that they can go into the winter with a nice strong down coat that's going to protect them through those months. Even though most chickens will get through a molt just fine without any intervention, it is true that they will do better if you give them just a little bit of extra support during the months where they are molting. And this doesn't mean that you have to spend money. I will always give you options because I'm all about everybody being able to keep chickens. So I'm never going to be like, oh, you have to buy something. I will give you options of things that you can buy, and I'll also tell you what you can do with what you have to support your chickens the best. There are rare cases where a chicken can present with a nutritional deficiency during their molt. It's likely they had something going on that was underlying that you didn't see before, and it just shows up during molting time because basically all their resources are going towards building new feathers. And some chickens can go through a really hard molt, especially if they're a really good layer and they've just been bred to lay and lay and lay. They've likely also been bred to go through their molt pretty fast. And that can be rough on a chicken. It's usually a production breeds, and they're just not as resilient in general. I think it is a good idea to just do a few things during this time to support your flock and get them through the molting season. When people talk about their molting chickens on the internet, you know, on like a Facebook chicken group or whatever, the general advice that I see a lot is to give your chickens extra protein while they're molting. And this isn't... Please, behave. I think she said no. Now, this isn't bad advice. It is true that, you know, it's a great idea to give your chickens a little bit of extra protein while they're molting. It's going to help them grow some really strong feathers. So if you've got your chickens, like, let's say on a 16% protein feed, you don't even have to buy anything. You can give them, like, leftover scrambled eggs. You can give them leftover fish. You can give them leftover peas. Whatever healthy protein you have left over that your family didn't eat, you can give that to your chickens. Now, if you want to buy something that is high protein and a really high quality product, I would recommend the Grubs from Grubly Farms. It's just a really good product. I really like the company. And not only does it have protein in it, the Grubs have calcium in them too. So you're kind of getting like a double whammy with that. don't know that's the right analogy. But it's really good for them. So that is one thing I like to do. I gotta move out of here because it's so loud. One thing I wouldn't do is just load them and load them and load them with extra protein. If you've got your chickens on a 20% protein feed, you really don't need to give your chickens a whole bunch of protein above that. You wanna keep things balanced, because what a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually cause problems in your flock if you give your chickens too much protein. They can get some digestive issues, they can get gout, they can get other problems, and you just don't want that. You want to always keep things balanced, and it's never about one nutrient. It's always about balanced nutrition. One way to get a lot of diverse nutrition into your chickens, aside from giving them your leftover healthy scraps, which is always a good idea, is to supplement your chickens with edible weeds that you find in your garden. Now, right now, I still have some dandelion in my garden. I'm definitely giving that to my chickens. I've got narrowleaf plantain that is also edible and really good for chickens. I've got that in my garden right now that I'm giving them. And I also have nettles growing in my garden, but I've said this many times, I do not like to pick nettles, and they don't eat them fresh. So I actually buy my nettles from Small Pet Select. I just get the bag, and I can make that bag last a while because I'll make a tea out of it. Like, I'll make a really strong cup of nettle tea, and I'll put that in their water. Another thing that I'll do sometimes is just sprinkle it into their feed. I actually got this tip from my friend Heather. She is the founder of the Chicken Health Academy. I think that's what it's called, Chicken Health Academy, yes. And also the Backyard Chicken Summit. And she told me, she was like, Dahlia, give them nettles when they're molting, because it is really, really good for them when they're molting. And I can't remember why she said that. I think it's because they're so nutrient dense. And a lot of you, I know, have it just growing in your yard, and you can dry it, and you're not like me where you don't like to pick it. Now, if you do have a chicken that is really struggling through their molt, and you know, sometimes you can tell because they're just not as active as normal, and sometimes they'll even lose their balance, or they might start walking weird or doing like kind of a weird thing with their neck. And if they're also molting, that means that likely they're just having a really hard molt and they need some extra support. So if that happens, bring them inside, do the rest method, which if you don't know what that is, I will leave a link for you at the end of this video. I would do that method, and then I would also probably, for something like that, give them a good chicken vitamin. There's lots of good quality chicken vitamins on the market. The one that I have been using lately that I really like, and it seems like my chickens like it a lot too, I think it tastes good to them, are the vitamin and electrolytes from Herbal Farms. It comes in a little tub, and it's just a little bit of a vitamin boost for them. Again, if you can't buy anything, or if you don't want to buy anything, just focus on those nutrient dense foods. I mean, it's just like people. Keep it balanced, get as much nutrition as you can into them, and it's likely that they will come out of it, and they'll grow those feathers back, and they'll be right as rain. My chicken that I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, her name is Gizmo. She's right here. Say hi, Gizmo. She has been very well these last couple years. I'm gonna knock on some wood because every time I say that. Anyway, she's been doing well through her molt these last couple of years, but when I first got her, she would really struggle through her molts, to the point to where she'd be like doing that dizzy thing and walking sideways and just looking weird. So I would bring her in and do the rest method. Obviously, Gizmo got through it really well using this method, and I was able to put her back out in the flock after giving her support for a few days. So that video is on the screen right now. It's 100% friendly, backyard chickens, education, and entertainment, and I know you're gonna love it. All right, Gizmo, do you need a wig?